Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Tamra Judge from RHOC throws a thrilling traitors party. On The Real Housewives of Orange County Season 18, Episode 8, Tamra Judge put together a celebration inspired by the hit series Traitors, and it was an absolute hit. Tamra invited Shannon Storms-Beater, Jenna Kirschenheiter, Katie Janela, Jennifer Pedranti, Heather Dubrow, Emily Simpson, and former RHOC member Vicky Gunvalson to her party. Unfortunately, my experience on the show The Traitors was too short, so I wanted to have a Traitors experience for the girls, Tamra said during an interview, and maybe just for me to relive it a little bit. What is a Traitors party? Imagine this: charming outfits, a Scottish setting, and rainy weather. All Tamra needed then was a host. The host picks the traitor for the entire game. You have to figure out who the traitor is. Tamra explained, there's missions, and you can be murdered. It's just a mind game is what it really is. Who could replace Alan Cummings' role for Tamra's festivities? Why, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum Teddy Mellencamp Arroyo, of course. The group had a mixed reaction to this, but Tamra believed that Teddy would not disappoint. To get the game going, Teddy had the girls fill out questionnaires, which would determine who would be the deceiver amongst them. Teddy's poll included questions about the other women like, who is the biggest liar? And who is the most judgmental? Once everyone turned in their answers, the girls put on eye masks, pushed in earplugs, and then it was up to the host to make her decision. Teddy then started to walk slowly around the table, tapping a cane twice behind every seat. That led up to one person receiving 3 taps, which determined the deceiver. The wives were then turned loose on the rental house to get drinks and catch up. Murder amidst the Housewives of Orange County. Next, the host split the women in 3 groups to start a game of Who Knows the Housewives Best, which they played over dinner. During this game, the women guessed which names came up most for the questions earlier. Jan and Shannon's team won, and they received immunity. They could not be murdered by the secret traitor that first round. That meant the first person that was out was? No, it couldn't be. Tamra Judge. The traitor, whose identity was hidden, had an interview of her own. What the hell, Teddy? She said. I pointed at Vicky to be murdered. To fix this problem, Teddy announced a second murder, Shannon. Then the group pulled out a piece of paper to see who would be dead next, which was Vicky. In the high-octane world of Orange County, where the sun never sets on drama, few stars shine brighter or stir up more trouble than Tamra Judge, a veteran of the Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC. Tamra is no stranger to drama, deceit, and betrayal. But in her latest move, Tamra decided to fully embrace her title as the Queen of Controversy, hosting an extravagant traitors party that pushed the limits of friendship and rivalry alike. The party, dripping with intrigue and ulterior motives, became the talk of the town, making it one of the most iconic events in RHOC history. Setting the stage for chaos, the Traitors Party invitation. The concept of the Traitors Party seemed to be born out of the very fabric of RHOC, a show where alliances are made and broken faster than you can say cheers. Tamra, ever the provocateur, sent out sleek, black invitations with the ominous tagline, Are you the traitor? Only one way to find out. The invitation alone set the tone for an event where everyone was walking on eggshells, wondering who the real villains were, and whether they themselves might be labeled as the evening's traitor. In typical Tamra fashion, she leaned into the drama from the get-go. No simple girls' night or glam cocktail party. This event had a distinct, almost theatrical, theme: betrayal. Guests were expected to arrive dressed as their version of a traitor, whether a historical figure or something more personal. It was a genius setup that instantly blurred the lines between reality and performance, making everyone question who was playing a role and who was playing for real. The decor, setting the mood for mayhem. Tamra spared no expense in ensuring the party was as theatrical as the theme suggested. Held at her sprawling mansion, the home was transformed into a Gothic-inspired lair of deceit. Dim lighting, red velvet drapes, and mirrors that seemed to multiply the guests' reflections only added to the atmosphere of paranoia. A grand chandelier hung ominously in the center, casting shadows over the party-goers as they whispered in corners, their reflections almost seeming to wink back at them. In one room, a long dining table was set up for a game Tamra called Who's the Biggest Traitor? Each seat had a name card, seemingly random, until people started noticing who they were placed next to: ex-best friends, former foes, or someone they had gossiped about in confessional interviews. Cleverly positioned cameras caught every subtle side-eye and whispered conversation, ensuring that even in the most intimate corners of the party, there were no true secrets. That house was literally and figuratively a house of mirrors. Guests had to face themselves, their actions, and their allies turned rivals. The guest list. Who's who of Housewives drama. Of course, no event of this magnitude could go without a carefully curated guest list. Tamra, always one to stir the pot, made sure that nearly every major player in RHOC was present, along with some surprise faces from across the Real Housewives franchise. Among the attendees were Shannon Beador, who had recently been feuding with Tamra, making her appearance all the more loaded. Heather Dubrow was also present, dressed elegantly as Cleopatra, an iconic historical figure known for her own share of betrayals. Jenna Kirschenheider and Emily Simpson came as a pair, dressed as notorious double-crossers from pop culture. But it wasn't just current cast members who made an appearance. Tamra invited some former housewives who had exited the show under tense circumstances, including Vicki Gunvalson, the self-proclaimed OG of the OC, whose complicated friendship with Tamra over the years added layers of suspense to the night. As if the local cast weren't enough, Tamra decided to up the ante by inviting a few housewives from other cities, including Teresa Giudice from The Real Housewives of New Jersey and Lisa Rinna from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Both known for their own betrayals and iconic arguments, their presence felt like an acknowledgement that this wasn't just an Orange County event. This was a housewives showdown on a national level. The drama unfolds, a night of accusations and backstabbing. The atmosphere of Tamra's Traitors Party shifted from fun and theatrical to downright tense almost as soon as the first drinks were poured. The main event of the night was a game, fittingly titled Betrayal Bingo. Each guest received a card filled with scenarios that loosely corresponded to real-life betrayals or wrongdoings. Everything from gossiping behind a friend's back to faking a friendship for camera time. It didn't take long for the game to ignite fireworks. Shannon, always emotional and ready to confront conflict head-on, immediately accused Tamra of setting her up. "Is this why you invited me? To call me a traitor on national TV?" she demanded, tears welling up in her eyes. Tamra, calm as ever, didn't miss a beat, responding coolly, "If the shoe fits, wear it." That comment set off a chain reaction. Heather, who had stayed mostly silent for much of the evening, finally snapped when Gina and Emily began hinting that she had been playing both sides in some of the recent disputes. "I didn't come here to be accused of things I never did," she shouted, storming out dramatically, leaving her Cleopatra crown behind. Vicki, never one to shy away from drama, took the opportunity to throw in her 2 cents, accusing Tamra of betraying her multiple times over the years. "You've always been a two-faced friend, Tamra. Always," she shouted across the room, her voice breaking as old wounds resurfaced. The ultimate betrayal, the final reveal. As tensions boiled over, Tamra decided it was time to unveil the final twist of the night, a move only someone as well-versed in reality TV chaos could pull off. In the center of the room, she revealed a giant envelope labeled Traitor of the Night. Inside, it held the names of 2 guests, handpicked by Tamra for their history of backstabbing. The room held its breath. To everyone's shock, the names read Tamra Judge and Shannon Beador. The room exploded in confusion. Tamra, smiling through the chaos, calmly explained, "Because the biggest traitor is usually the one who's pointing the finger." Shannon looked stunned, unsure whether to laugh or cry. The twist was as fitting as it was clever. Tamra had played the ultimate game of betrayal, turning the night into a masterclass in manipulation. The aftermath, rebuilding or breaking for good. As the night wound down, the damage was done. Old wounds were reopened and new rivalries were formed. Yet, in the world of Real Housewives, betrayal is never permanent. Alliances shift, friendships repair, and new drama always emerges. But one thing was certain. Tamra Judge had once again cemented herself as one of the greatest puppeteers in reality TV history. Her Traitors Party would go down as one of the most unforgettable events in RHOC history, where the line between friend and foe was more blurred than ever.